Every day, chat and chart live during the New York session. Here, real traders share the raw truth, their mindset, technical analysis, and execution. This is where real traders show their skill set. Welcome to Tradin TV. This is your stage to shine.
Welcome traders. Welcome to the second episode of Tradin TV. Today we are shining the light on our traders from FundingPips. And after an incredible launch yesterday with a powerful trading session from our CEO and his guests, Raja and Uma, we're back with episode 2 of live trading, chat and chart. And today's stage is taken by incredible FundingPips traders. And I want to introduce them one by one. WKC, you may remember him from last week's success story. He has been trading since 2015 in pursuit of even now $50,000 in rewards from FundingPips and huge experience. He brings seasoned and structured insight to the session. Trader number 2 is ZamcoCapital. He's a proof that patience pays. After 6 years, he has received his first payout in April 2024. And since he has stacked $650,000 in rewards in funded profits. He's a true comeback story, a true resilience story. And then finally, we have Chax. He's a trader, he's a mentor, he's a coach, and he's a civil engineer too. He's known for his bold mindset and fearless execution. And you may know him by his motto, "My name is Chax and I make kings." But anyway, I want to invite you to real mindset here, to real decision making of FundingPips traders. And I want you to catch the action. I want you to ask the question. I want you to observe what is their thought process and what you can learn. Be part of this amazing opportunity. And traders, welcome. And the stage, the trading stage, is now yours. Have fun.
Amazing. Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me on.
Hello, bro.
How are you both?
We are fine. We are fine. How are you doing, bro?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much. So how long have you guys been trading for?
Personally, I have been trading since 2015. Yeah, so
wow.
Since 2015, I've been trading.
That's a long time.
Yeah. What about you?
I've been trading for 7 years.
Beautiful. That's nice. So welcome everyone. How are you, WCK? I enjoyed your last interview. That was very amazing. Nice one.
Okay.
Yeah. Zamco, how are you? What do you have for us today?
Zamco.
Yeah, I'm doing well. What did you want to ask, WCK?
Are you going to take us through how, your analysis, how you are able to cut those trades, how you have been able to collect all those payouts? Because I also have been following you also. I've been seeing the payouts you have been getting. Sometimes you post your setups, and then I was like, you know what? It's an honor for me to be on the same table with Zamco to see how he catches those trades, So I think it's going to be a very, very, very good trading session today.
Yeah, hopefully. I appreciate you watching my stuff. I can break things down for you guys if you want. Is that what you want?
Okay. Yeah.
Cool. Let me share my screen quickly. Where's my trading view? Okay. All right. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes. Yeah. It's clear.
Amazing. All right, cool. So literally, I passed my phase 2 300K account with FundingPips literally today in the morning with this trade. And so basically so let me break this down. This is German 40. That's what we're looking at, right? And what happened was we had this low over here, which was the previous daily low. And we had this 4-hour fair value gap down here. So what happened was once price consolidated in Asian range, we see a sweep of the Asian low, and then we tapped into our 4-hour fair value gap. Now, once we tapped into that 4-hour fair value gap, you can see we had a rejection right here. This wasn't clear enough for me. So I waited for price to dance around, and then finally we can see price tap this 1-minute order block. Once we tapped into that, price rejected. We broke this structural high, and then we started pushing up. After we pushed up, we created another 1-minute fair value gap. So now we have a confirmation. We've already had the initial rejection of the 4-hour fair value gap. Then we have this internal break of structure to the upside just before London session opened. Then we retrace into this 1-minute fair value gap, and that's where I took my buy, stop loss below the lows, and then price just launched up. And then target was the Asian highs plus we had this. If we look, we can see we have this 4-hour fair value gap over there. So it was smart to take up your profits right there. So this was the trade really. 1 minute market structure shift.
So that's a trade which helped you to pass a challenge today.
Yes, this is a trade that helped me pass my FundingPips 300K account. So I had 100K accounts, 3 of them, and I just copied the trade over.
So what I don't know if I ask a lot, but bro, so you passed it in one trade. Like, how do you approach your risk? Because I remember last time we had on Twitter, we always do follow. We had that talk about the risk. So
yeah,
what's your risk approach? Because it's a bit tricky also.
Sure. So when it comes to prop firm accounts, when it comes to FundingPips specifically, I risk like the whole daily drawdown. So I risked 4.5% in this trade. So obviously this is the whole trade playing out, and that's where we would have taken profits. This was like holding on my other accounts. But in terms of FundingPips, I only needed that much. I passed like right there. That's all I needed to pass. And it was like a 1, 2, 3. Now look, my stop loss wasn't actually here. This is where it would have been, but because I was risking 4.5%, my stop loss was like down there. It didn't need to be, but because I was risking just the whole drawdown, I just didn't really have like a tight stop loss. I just wanted to let the trade play out. But if I was to have my stop loss, it would have been below this low. And this was the trade that actually allowed me to pass. Obviously, price continued to further up higher, and that was my other accounts. But this is the one that I took on FundingPips, and this is what I needed. One little push, and I passed. It was a very simple trade.
So you use the same risk after passing that challenge?
No. Once I'm funded, then I drop my risk to 0.5% or 1% risk. That's it. I don't really go over that.
Yeah. So it's already a New York session. Maybe I believe even me, not only people who are not only people who are watching us, but even me, I would like to see you maybe analyzing live. So I don't know if you can get us any pair of your choice. Maybe we go through it through this session, all of us together, maybe.
Of course, I can definitely do that. I know everyone keeps talking about gold, but I don't like its behavior recently. It's not really giving me clear structure, so I'm kind of avoiding that.
We are the same page when it comes to that.
All right, Zamco,
Yeah.
Zamco, Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I
So
can hear you.
based on this trade, I got something similar to that on one train. You can check that. Although it's playing out already, but then I didn't use confirmation. I entered straight from the 1 hour time frame.
On what pair, sorry?
Yeah, that's 100.
Oh, NASDAQ. Okay.
Either 4 hours or 1 hour. So what happened is same approach, previous day low taken out,
Yep.
price tag into what's it called? The fair value gap below the previous day low.
Oh, okay.
It's playing out already. Although I used the 4 hours. I'm currently on the trade. I was hoping it comes during this section so I could give the call live. But if there's a way we can have continuation on that, that would be fine. Probably when I'm about to do, or when I'm about to share my screen later in the day. But
Sure.
I got the move already.
Okay,
Okay.
nice,
Same approach. Your style of trading is very similar to mine as well. The only thing is I don't do the lower time frame, which is fine. I don't do the 1 minute. So I'm comfortable
Okay.
with maximum 1 hour, extreme 15 minutes. Yeah.
So
But the same
you guys, if you say you are almost having the same approach, like should we say you are trading ICT? Which strategy are you guys trading? Zamco? Which
I
strategy?
wouldn't say it's ICT. Honestly, it's simply just market structure
that's
and
it.
inefficiencies in the market. So wherever
So
there's an impulsive
for me,
move,
if I'm to classify it, I'll just say market structure, then liquidity, and then imbalance or inefficiency, whatever you want to call it. So that's just it for me. I won't relate this to ICT. I learned a few things when I started the SMC, the ICT, everything all put together. But then at the end of the day, I realized markets, according to my own style of trading, markets only need you to talk about structure, liquidity, and imbalance. Then you're fine. Right. So I won't
Okay.
attach this to what's it called ICT. Right.
yeah,
Okay. So
I
Zamco,
definitely.
what are you going to take us through? You are going to show us some analysis on Euro USD.
Uh, well, actually, I'm in the Euro USD sell currently, but I'm all the way in from up here. So look, let me show you. You guys can see my camera, right? Yeah, cool. So currently, I'm holding a sell on Euro USD. I don't know if you guys can see that from.
Yeah, it's clear.
Yep. And so that's my funded next account. Currently, we're running. Maybe it's an inverse, but it's running at almost $10,000 profit. I just need another 6,000, and I'll pass phase one on that. So I'm currently holding this Euro USD sell, and the reasoning for this trade is very simple. It's literally, we had this big impulsive move down. We had this 15-minute imbalance right here. And it was also in line with 16250, which is a nice psychological level. And once price tapped into that, we can see that we had a market structure shift to the downside. And then we had this 5-minute fair value gap created. And basically that's where we'd be entering off, and stop loss above the high. Target was the Asian low initially, but then obviously we have this previous daily low down here, and that's kind of what I'm targeting to pass. So very simple textbook trade. I don't normally trade Euro USD, but the setup was just really nice, so I just took it. In terms of further trades for NY, honestly, a lot of the moves have already happened, so it's a bit tricky for me to decide that, because we've already had, look, for example, on NASDAQ, we've had the sweep of Asian low. We've had the market structure shift to the upside. We have this 5-minute inefficiency right here. We've tapped into that. Now we're pushing up to sweep the Asian highs. That trade is basically already played out. Now, when it comes to NY, it's like, well, what are you meant to do now? We've already had the manipulation, and now we're distributing up. So it's a bit tricky to analyze a trade right now because the moves have already happened. These are all 3 trades that I was looking at. Unless you guys see something that I don't, this is kind of what I
you have mentioned about a psychological level. How do you determine that it's a good one? What do you base on?
Okay, so psychological levels. Let me talk about, let's say, Euro USD, for example. Humans, obviously, they prefer big whole numbers or quarters. Quarters are very nice. So, for example, let's say 1.6000, right? That's a nice psychological number. Now, if institutions want to buy or sell at a certain price, are they going to be placing their orders at like 1.16086? Like, no, they're just going to round it up 1.16. That's it. We just want to buy it from there. Or they can go in quarters, which is 1.16250, and then the next psychological level is 16500, and then the next one is 16750. So between 1.17 and 1.16, if you go up in quarters, that's just 25, 50, 75, and that's how you kind of look at the psychological levels. Now, if in that psychological level you also have a fair value gap and following market structure, it just makes sense. So we are in a bearish market structure currently. We have this inefficiency right here at 16250, and this daily candle is making a top wick to then flip bearish and continue down. So it all lines up, and then that's how I go about taking my trade and understand that that psychological level is a good one, because it just all makes sense in terms of the confluences. Does that make sense?
Okay, so you said you don't, you no longer like so much to maybe to analyze gold, but since it's a New York session, and maybe would like to see you analyzing from zero, you know. So like
try.
maybe you want, maybe when you want to, maybe let's say to trade gold, so try to analyze it from zero, build your setup. Maybe we can learn something from it. Maybe me and the team.
Sure. Yeah, I can do that for you. Gold is a bit of a tricky one because its price action has been very erratic, but overall I'm thinking bearish. And the reason for that is because if we just look at basic market structure, we are clearly printing bearish. We're breaking these lows, and this low over here that was broken, it was quite impulsively broken. So then we can mark out our inefficiency. So we have this 5-minute fair value gap over here. Or we can actually refine it up to this 3-minute over here, which is the most highest one that I can see. And we can see price is tapping that, and we're rejecting, and we're starting to push down. We're breaking structure to the downside. So ideally, I would be looking for sells. And another thing as a confluence is we've swept Asian highs. Asian lows are unswept. We have this some sort of trend line liquidity. If we just look at that, like, I don't know, something like that. We have these taps over here. Asian liquidity below that hasn't been swept. I would expect bearish pushes to continue to the downside. So I'm expecting price to basically just continue down to at least the previous daily low, but minimum Asian low sweep over here. That's kind of what I'm expecting on gold.
So you expect more sales. So when you are making your analysis, what's the highest time frame you look at?
The highest time frame. Sure. So I start off with the daily candles usually. Very rare that I look at the weekly and the monthly, but sometimes I do. But usually I start off with the daily candle. So in this scenario over here, if I was to look at the daily candle, I would understand that the previous 2 daily candles have closed bearish. The next one looks like it's making its top wick to then flip bearish and continue further down. So that's kind of how I base my trades. So obviously this daily candle currently that we're in, we haven't broken the previous daily low, so that can act as a point of liquidity. Now we have 2 bearish previous daily candles. Next one has opened barely a bottom wick. We're pushing up, potentially making the top wick of that daily candle. So now I'm thinking, all right, we're potentially making the top wick of that daily candle. It's probably going to flip bearish to break the previous daily low. So now I'm looking for my entry within this daily wick that's being created currently. And that's where then I drop to time frames and look at, let's say, the 15-minute or the 5-minute, and then kind of refine my zones. And we can see once price taps into it, then I drop to the lower time frames and look for this market structure shift. And now that we have had that market structure shift, then I'm going to be potentially looking for my sells, and I'm going to be targeting the previous daily lows or the Asian low. So it's adding all of that into one trade, understanding how price is developing, how the top wicks and bottom wicks are being created, which liquidity has been swept, which hasn't, and following market structure. So that's how I would break down a trade going from top down.
Okay, bro. So unless Jack has something to say.
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Are you going to share your screen as you had said?
Yeah, sure. If once
Okay.
something is done, that's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah. I'm all done to share my screen. If you guys want to share something, go for it, man.
All right, that's fine. All right, thank you, Zamco. That was nice. Okay, so for me, I was looking at more sell on gold too. But let's go to the NAS 100 to start with. Probably we can get something for continuation. And thank you everyone for coming. How's been your day? How's it going? All right. So let's go. Let's see what we'll have it. So I've NAS 100 share screen. Why? Wait a minute. Trying to share my screen.
What football match is going on in the background there?
Okay, so for me, I like to watch football when I'm trading. So I'm looking at what's it called? Ronaldo's previous goal. I will share. Oh, is anyone sharing screen currently? I'm unable to share screen. Why?
I'm not sharing anything.
No, no one is sharing the screen.
No, it's not coming up. Okay. WC. Just go on first. I'll try again. Let me see what's going on with it.
I'm just glad I passed my funding pips 300k phase 2. I've been struggling this month. It's been quite a tricky month.
This what's it called?
Previous
This
month
trade
wasn't good.
the NAS 100 should pass my phase 2 account, the 100k accounts.
That'd be
Because
nice.
The previous month was a bit tricky.
Yes, definitely. Previous month has been really difficult for me. I lost a lot of funding. But I've now got back to funded with funding pips. And honestly, I find that funding pips is the easiest prop firm to pass with. Their
for
rules
real,
are so easy.
that's just it.
I love it.
That's just it. The rules are way too easy for anyone. What's happening? I'm unable
Okay.
to share my screen. I don't know why. Okay, I'll just try.
Chuck, maybe share your screen. Okay. So as we wait for Chuck, let me try to share my screen. So Zamco, is my screen clear?
Yeah, I can see your screen clearly. Yeah.
Okay, guys. So yeah, so as guys, you know, it's WCK, guys. I have always been telling you, and I've been informing you even earlier before. I'm a trader from Uganda. I know Zamco, you are from, is it London? You are from London? Is
Yeah, I'm
it
from
what I
London.
heard?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm from Uganda, and I always prefer personally to start taking my trades within New York session. So even if I see a good entry, in London session or any other session, I always avoid it, because for me, the way I trade, I prefer momentum. I prefer that volatility when the market is so fast. You get, so that's what I always focus on. So I always focus on NAS, sometimes gold, but these days I've been trying so hard to avoid gold coming from its all-time high, and the way gold is moving is a bit tricky. Fundamentally, it raises a lot of tension. But then NAS, yes, NAS has been on all-time high also, but at least it gives you those moves. I know Zamco, now you understand this because you trade German 40. You know how these indices react. So for them, even if it's on its all-time high, it will still give you a good entry. It will still give you a good move. You get, so most if you have been trading gold in the previous month, I believe most of accounts have been breached. Many people have lost accounts because of the previous month. You have just had the big man here, Zamco. You know, Zamco is just coming back to recover funding Pips accounts, and he has asked them today. So it shows how it was, you know, the previous month. So personally, I'm going to take you through my strategy, what I look at technically, and what I base on to execute my entries. Yeah, so I always focus. Sometimes I can look at the daily chart, but since I execute my entries within since I execute my entries within strictly the New York session, I don't want to take a lot of time in the markets. You get so, and I do trade 4 hour. That's what I first focus on, the 4 hour time frame. Then I go to 1 hour to reconfirm. Then I don't execute below 15 minutes. So meaning my execute time frame, it's always the 15 minute. So I always focus on mostly three things. Okay, so I focus on the volume within the markets. Then I focus on the market structure. Uh, when I say market structure, for me, the way I look at the market structure personally, all I focus on is where the market is coming from and where it's heading. So it is easier to identify such on the 4 hour time frame. For me, I easily identify that from the 4 hour time frame. Why? I always avoid taking entries which are reversal entries. Okay, so I prefer taking continuation entries. So
Yes.
meaning when I confirm the direction of the market on the 4 hour time frame, for example, if it is bullish, if the time frame shows bullish momentum, okay, so I always avoid to be on the sellers. So meaning that session, most of the trades I'm going to take in that session are strictly going to be focused on buys. You get, so I don't want to be against the market. So why do I do that? So as I told you guys, I've been trading for some good time, and the best traders I have seen out there, they prefer taking continuation entries. You know, the most profitable traders we have seen, they prefer taking continuation entries. But for us, when we were still learning trading, for us, we always wanted to be good, and we even named we came up with names like sniper entries, what, but at the end you keep on blowing accounts. So I prefer taking continuation entries. So meaning after identifying the market, after identifying the direction of the market, that's the market structure, that the market is coming from this zone and it's targeting this zone. So on the 4 hour time frame, it means if I go to execute or to find my entries in the 15 minute, I will be looking entries which are in line of sellers. You know, that's in line of the 4 hour time frame. So what happens when I reach to my entry time frame? For example, if I'm to execute my entries on the 15 minute time frame. So the things I focus on, it's almost the same things. I used to tell traders that uh, the technical analysis uh, has no difference. Most of the traders, you find that most of us, the traders, we approach the market technically the same way. Okay, so but what makes a difference is always individual, like your personal ways. How do you treat the market personally? How do you handle the market personally? For example, I can
WC,
make an
let me ask
analysis
you.
that yes,
WCK,
I'm
can
going.
you hear me?
Yes.
Sorry, there's news in the next 2 minutes. What do you think Nas will do? Sorry to distract you. I just want to spice up things. So let's see. What do you think Nas will do? There's news in the next two
Okay, it's
minutes.
okay. Before I go there, let me talk about it. So
All right.
I think if I look at NAS, I think we are more likely to proceed with buys, but I don't expect the market to move so much. I don't
All
expect
right.
the market to move so much because it respected here. Why do I not expect it to move so much? Because the stock market has not yet opened. You get, and NAS is so based on the stock markets. That's in the next 1 hour. So if news comes in 2 minutes, I expect a small spike, but I don't expect some big moves. Those moves may be on gold, but when it comes to NAS, personally, I don't think that there is something that is that much spike which is going to happen. So if they are to buy, if the spike is there, they might maybe touch here, because if I look at the 4 hour time frame, I can see that the market respected this area here Okay, so the market respected this area here and it's changing direction. So meaning if we might see it might be possible today when the markets open, that's in the next 1 hour, we might see another all-time high during this session. But as we expect a spike, if we are to have a spike, I think it might touch there. So it might be so somehow bullish. Yeah. But as I
It just happened. I
you
had a
see, that's
buy.
what I
I
have
had a
told
buy
you.
I was about to give.
So
I had this buy I was about to give on 5 minutes. It just happened. That was why I was asking you for that.
yeah, but
I think, all right.
yeah, so that's how it was.
Yeah.
So and trust me, I rarely even trade news. So that's why
Okay.
I've been expecting those buys. So I rarely even trade
Yeah.
news because I always avoid the news. Prof taught me this. I never had it, but Prof taught me this. So that's why I try to always avoid. So, but that buy was actually easy to be
It's clear
spot.
on 5 minutes.
So
If
you
you go
have
to
I've
five
been
minutes,
telling you that the approach I use, yeah. So the approach I use personally, as I have told you, 4 hour. So as long as the 4 hour has gave me a direction, for example, in the New York session, okay, all my entries I look for, they would be based on that. You get? So to avoid that low momentum, low momentum always kills accounts. You get? Low momentum always kills accounts. So to continue with what I've been telling you guys, that when I'm to take my entries after seeing the momentum on the 4 hour time frame, then my entry levels will be spotted within the 15-minute time frame. So 15-minute time frame, the things I base on, I know these days people have given them names, but when I'm to execute my entries, I always focus on these impulsive moves and expansions. For example, if you look at this time frame here, so let's say if I'm to look for my entry, so I'll be looking for expansions. I'll be waiting for this candle to close, okay, because indices. So indices, if you trade when the candle is still moving, you don't have a clear entry, or you don't have a clear confirmation. For example, for indices, you can think that yes, maybe they are buying, but in actual sense, for example, if you look at 30-minute, if you look at the 30-minute, when it is just another entry level for sellers, you get. So to avoid this, I always wait for the candle to close, and also I always want to be within the range of uh the 4 hours. So if the 4 hour is on bulls, then I'm also going to focus on bulls the entire session. So before I go any further, I would like maybe Jack to share with us your setup, the signal you gave us on NAS. Maybe you
all
can
right.
share your screen and maybe we can go through it. Then I will continue maybe later.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, I'm here. Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you great.
All right. Okay, cool. So just like I said, the NAS 100, I've been on the buy since morning. And then what did I say? It's very similar to what Zamco shared earlier. So
Yes.
this is the way I approach my own trade. Basically, I work with structure. Then I want liquidity to be taken, and I want liquidity to be taken, and then entry. Sorry, and my entry should be inside what they call an imbalance. So some people call this whoever look up or whatever the name is. That's fine. But then above all, I want to see a clear structure. I want to see liquidity being taken, and then once I see all this, I want to get an entry wherever it is an imbalance, because I'm of the opinion that markets only do two things, right? It's either it is to attack liquidity or to rebalance and hold imbalance. So if that's the case, coming to this chart now, this happened to be yesterday low, This happened to be Tuesday low, right? This happened to be Tuesday low. So when I check this now, you can see we have a clear expansion around here. This is a clear expansion here. Now you want to ask me, why am I not taking my trade from this level? Well, no. Usually I want to see, how do I explain this now? Okay, I want to see a region whereby buyers, they came into play, but then all of a sudden sellers came into play, then all of a sudden the buyers took over from them. If you look at this, we have an open close key level here, which is this sell candle following each other. And then what happened after that? You can see the way this bullish candle ran into it. Can you see that? And that's created the imbalance I need to see. Now the yesterday low, and now serve as what? It serves as my own liquidity that is to be taken out. So what did I just do? The only thing I did was, okay, I waited for price to just tap into this level. I got my buy here. That was the early buy. And then my stop loss is just below the candle that caused that imbalance. So on getting this now, just before the news, I went to 5. Of course, I'm expecting price to take out yesterday high. Right? I'm expecting price to buy and then take out yesterday high. Since the previous day low has been taken out, I'm expecting price to go for the previous day high, which is this simple. So I'm going to 5 minutes now. I don't trade 5 minutes. On a good day, I don't trade 5 minutes. I'm only comfortable with 1 hour, but just because of the coming news. So I wanted to give this call so everyone can take it. Then what do you notice here again? Same thing. See, 4 hours has already given us the direction, which is the buy. On coming to this 5 minutes, you can see we have a clear expansion here. And this was before the news. This was a spike before the news. Right? I'm having this expansion. What did we see here again? Okay, price has created a new expansion on 5 minute time frame. Remember what I said? All my entry, I want it inside with an imbalance. Now, you want to ask me, why am I using this level? Okay, look at this. We had this expansion to the downside. You can see the red candle retested that high. On retesting it, it sold a little, and then price came again, broke it. Same idea for the 4 hours. It's the same thing I'm doing on the 5 minute now. So price broke that level possibly. So what do I expect? I expect price to just play back here, right? I expect price to just pull down here, need to tag into this level, and then we can buy to continue the movement. And let's see what happened afterwards. It's what happened. Can you see price drop and then price spike up from there? It's that simple. That's the only thing I'm doing. I think by
Okay.
now I've passed my phase 2 of the FundingPips account because I was having less than 1% before this spike.
Okay.
So that's all.
But for me, if because I think this market the stock market will be opening in the next maybe few minutes. That's like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
But don't you see that? Don't you think they have any chances of selling Zamco, or we should expect more?
For me personally, I expect more buy. I need yesterday high to be taken out first. All right. The high of yesterday have to go. The high of yesterday have to go before any further sell. Let's go to the daily. Let's see what's happening on the daily. Let's see what's happening on the daily. Okay, now if you based on my own style, I'm just going to walk them through everything you see me do. So there are 2 ways in which I form my what's it called bias. You can see, let's say this was Tuesday now. This was Tuesday. This bearish candle you're seeing. So what happened? Today opens. Today open as a sell first. So come and take out Tuesday low. Are you getting me? Now on taking out Tuesday low on the daily, I want to go to 4 hours. What do I want to see on 4 hours? I want to see an expansion on 4 hours. If I get an expansion on 4 hours, right, and then 1 hour give me something like this, a sweep and break, then I know, okay, there should be more buy here. I think that happened on German 40 thereof. But then let me see this. I'm just showing you another way in which I can frame the buyers around this. So let's see what happened on 4 hours. Yes. On checking 4 hours now, you can see the first 4 hours candle is to close in the next 20 minutes. You can see we already have an expansion here. You can go to the line chart to see it clearer. We have an expansion here. So what do I want to see? Let's go to 1 hour. Just like I said, I want to see a sweep and break on 1 hour. And what can you see here? You can see price swept this low, right? Price is about to break this high. Of course, I won't say we'll have a break until the next 20 minutes closes. Right? Price is about to break this high. Now, if price break this high, all I just need to for market to do is what? They need to pull back the retracement into this level and then pull back. Do you understand? But if price does not break this level, if it does not take out the high before the close of today, of course I'll wait and then I'll frame another thing tomorrow. But basically, side just the previous day lows or high, right? A key level below or above that previous day low or high, respectively. This is another way in which I can frame it. And everything I need to see on 4 hours in the next 20 minutes, it's almost done. But if this candle fail to close above, give me that proper expansion, then I'll be careful. Additionally, I want to pay attention to this level on the 4 hours time frame.
That's actually for me. That's also the point for me. I'm looking at. So that's why I think we might see some sales when the market open.
It's possible. If I'm ever going to have a sell, I need price to come into this level. Are you getting me? Now, the same thing I saw on 4 hours now, I need 1 hour to now give me something of this nature. Now, probably 5 minutes or 15 minutes give me something like this. Yes, then I can sell. Do you understand? But until I see all these around here, I'm still bullish on it. But immediately price coming to this level, and then the whole thing I just explained now happen on 1 hour time frame, 5 minute time frame. Then I'm taking a sell. Immediately I'll close my buy and then I'll take the sell. Well, I'm done with the Facebook account I'm trading now. I've passed that already. But then on my personal account, I can still take the sell only if that happen on this other level.
So Zamco, what do you think? Should we expect? Is there a possibility of sales, or we should expect more buys on NAS?
On NASDAQ, I believe it's a bit mixed. Overall, it is still bullish, so probability-wise, it's better to be looking for buys. The thing is, right now we just had that news release, right? The news high has been swept, but the news low hasn't been swept. And news highs and lows tend to act as liquidity. So potentially we could actually push down to sweep the news lows. So it's a bit of a mix. Overall, on the higher time frame, we are bullish, but I feel like we're probably going to be taking sells because we are coming up into a 15-minute order block. And it honestly, overall, we've been consolidating so much. There's higher time frame inefficiencies below that haven't been swept. So overall, I feel like we're going to be pushing down on this.
Okay. So
I could be wrong.
Let me try to share my screen, Chuck, and I show you for me what I think for me personally. Yeah. So for me personally, as I remember, before the news coming, when we had 2 minutes, I marked this area. Okay, so I marked this area. The reason why I marked this area because that's an area where I thought that we might have a lot of sellers in this area. For example, so personally for me, as long as they have, if you look at the 30-minute, okay, so for me, as long as they have not closed above this zone here, so as long as they are still below this zone, personally I will be looking for more sales because I think we might be having an opportunity of sales since they have swept out the imbalance on the 4 hour time from here. Okay, so I would only engage in buyers to be with the buyers or to engage in buying after they close above here. So as long as they have not above here, personally, I'll be looking for more sales and I think dropping more to up to this point. That's long term overall. Okay, so I don't know what you guys think, but I can only engage with buyers when they close above that zone. So what do you think, Zamco?
I think you're there definitely. I feel like even if we do close above that zone that you've marked out, it's okay because we have a 30-minute inefficiency just above it. So we could potentially wick into that as well, and that would be sitting in a premium area. So overall, we have currently broken structure to the downside. We're coming up into a premium area on a 30-minute fair value gap. We could potentially sweep. So we've already swept the news highs. So we could be sweeping that, continue up a bit more, and then we look for sells because news lows haven't been swept. There's higher time frame liquidity areas below. There's those
So
equal lows that
look,
you've basically marked out.
so you mean they can weaken this, they sweep this to proceed, like if they sweep this area here, maybe they can proceed down, or like this area, then they proceed down. Is it what you're trying to mean?
No, no.
Hmm.
So
Maybe
so basically
you can
this.
share the screen and we see. Share the screen.
Sure, I can do that. Right. Can you see my screen? Can you guys see it?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So basically what I was saying is like we have this 30-minute inefficiency over here. It's not necessary that price comes up to that because we do also have this 15-minute order block sitting right here, which we have wicked into. And here's the thing, on the 30-minute time frame lower down, the issue is, right, looking at all of this consolidation over here, we have this low that wasn't swept. And here's another thing. Price over here, we pushed up quite impulsively, but we didn't retrace more than 50%. So from this swing high to this swing low, we didn't have a retracement of more than 50%. So price never came into a discounted region. So we've started pushing up before having gone into a discounted area. So this area is still open. So I feel like this area needs to be tested. As a result, look, we've been consolidating above it, but we haven't come down into this area down here, which is like a 30-minute fair value gap. And it's also in the discounted region. So we haven't had that retracement. We've been consolidating above it. Now we've broken structures to the downside. If we can look right here, we've broken structures to the downside, shifting structure bearish. We have this 30-minute fair value gap just up here. We have this 15-minute fair value gap order block over here. We've had news that have just swept the highs, pushed up, and we haven't swept the news lows. So we have all of these confluences potentially telling us that we're going to be continuing bearish. So that's why I'm considering sells rather than buys. Obviously, we can just continue this overall short-term bullish trend even higher. But overall, I'm still expecting this 30-minute zone down here to be tested because it's a discounted region that has not been filled.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm currently anticipating sales rather than buys. Also, my TP was just missed over here.
Oh my God.
So I'm still holding this trade. So that was nice.
Are you already in break even?
Yeah.
Allah.
That would have just, yeah, we just about missed my TP over there.
Bro.
But that's okay. It happens. It's fine.
Yeah. So meaning for short term, then short term, what would be the target if you happen to engage with sellers? So what key points should be we should be looking at? Maybe where we should set our TPs.
So TP is the best, I guess, if the sales are to take place, the TP would be this previous low over here. Yeah, probably this daily candle flipping back to bearish, breaking its own low. I don't like how price is moving currently because we are basically just consolidating. And if we look at this consolidation over here, we have swept up higher and then closed back bearish. So we have technically swept this liquidity after this consolidation. So overall, I'm going to be expecting bearish pushes. So TP, I guess, at currently today's low, that would be nice. It's not the best setup, honestly, because it's weird. I mean, it's overall, I would like the sales, and the reason is, look, we've had this consolidation, we've pushed up higher, sweeping all of these highs, then we've broken structures to the downside, and we have this resting liquidity down here in the discounted region, and now we're rejecting, we've swept the news highs, and news lows haven't been swept. So overall, news lows would be the first take profit, which is basically right here. And then the overall take profit would be this today's low. that would be the safest one, I would say, is this news low over here. So this target right here, that would be the first target. Now, obviously, for this move, I would wait for NYSE session, so stop NY, New York Stock Exchange times open, which will be in the next 40 minutes. Once that happens, then I would probably be looking for sales. Right now, I think it's a bit too early.
Okay.
So yeah, these types of
Oh,
targets.
that's nice. Let me show you a setup I missed on your US30 earlier today. It's almost at my
Okay.
TP, but you didn't tag me. I shared it with my community on Telegram earlier. Look at this.
You can share. You can share your screen, Jack.
All right, can you see my screen now?
Yep.
Yes.
The same idea I had for. Let me just walk everyone through it again. The same idea I used for the NASDAQ, right? The same thing happened on what's it called? The US30. But in this case now it was a missed trade. It was so close to my entry, but then price looked at me. Okay, so like this now, if you look at this candle happened to be yesterday daily candle. Today came, swept the low. Today swept the low. You can see that. I'm going to 4 hours. Look at what we have on 4 hours. Okay. I'm going to 4 hours. Sorry. Going to 4 hours. Remember what I told you? I just want to see an expansion on 4 hours time frame. All right, so I need 4 hours to expand. Oops, what is it? Okay. So I need 4 hours to give me the expansion. If you have issues confirming the expansion, use the line chart so you can see it. Now, going to 1 hour time frame. Remember, I told you I just want to see a sweep and a break. And that happened. Okay, look at this. So the sweep and break happened at this level. The sweep and break happened at this level. Yeah, just right there. So I was looking at this point to take my entry, the 1 hour on. But then price just tanked after. I was expecting the next candle to give me this pullback, and then I have the buy. So one guy was asking me earlier that, okay, Chax, price was going to buy. Why didn't you just jump in from here? Now, here's one thing. Honestly, I don't like to I prefer to lose money by following my own rules rather than making money just doing things, what's it called, randomly, because you never can tell. Right? There's one thing about the market. If you do the wrong thing and you get rewarded for it this minute, let me tell you, it's going to come back 1,000 times to take more than what's made from it. So the best thing is, if it's not there, it's not there. Right. Same way now we're talking about the sell on as 100. Right. If NAS 100 comes to the 4 hours time frame, that level you're looking at, right? If NAS 100 should come to that level, the 4 hours time frame, right? And then I see everything I need to see there. Remember, I've been on the buy since morning. I automatically close my trade, right? I'll close the buy. I'll wait, let price come here. I want to see price tag into this level. If price should give me anything of this on 1 hour time frame, fine. If 15 minutes should now do this, even much better, then I'll get a sell. Are you getting me? And even look at this. This is one thing I want most of those who are listening to us to pay attention to. Right? Even the best form of setup can still fail. Are you getting? So I won't feel anything if at the end of the day I have to join the sell if the sell opportunity presents itself. Right? I have to join the sell and then the sell and the buy continues, of course. There are days like that. There are days whereby what's it called? The best form of your setup will still fail. So above everything, I love the fact that WCK spoke about something earlier that he does not trade news. I love the fact that FundingPips does not even allow news trading, in the sense that most people just tends to come around, just click the buy and the sell button and the spike. There you go. So one thing is, as much as this thing can be very fun at times, right? I always tell you, you have to have a checklist that you wake up every day and just repeat the same thing. You see every one of us, the three of us that has been talking now, you will notice that what Samco trades, what WCK trade, if they have to take 10 setups, they'll go through the same process all over and over again, right? This is the only way to profitability. You don't just want to wake up and just do things randomly from here and there, and then you expect to, what's it called, to become profitable. If you're doing the wrong thing, a market should give you money today, I can tell you for free that it will come back tomorrow and take thousands of it from you.
Okay.
Altogether. Yeah. So
Yeah.
one thing is, as much as we were talking about the technical aspect of all this, it is always very good for us to manage our, what's it called, our risk, because you never can tell. And whatever we're saying here now, this is just our own take about the market. Don't go and do your account, and at the end of the day, you blow up the account, and you're back. Oh, Charles, I just blew up my account. Sorry, can you get me a new account? No. You're right. So that's mine.
Okay.
Doesn't
So,
take important.
Chuck, before you go,
Yeah.
maybe people would want to know what's your approach when it comes to gold.
Okay, good.
Because
Okay, let's see what's going on gold. Let's see
mm,
gold. All right. Let's see gold. So let me check gold. That's all we have on currency. Okay, good. Good. So earlier today, I love to start from the daily, minimum daily. Sometimes I check the weekly. But then on the daily, I want to, everyone can see my screen, right? WCK, can you confirm?
yeah, I can see it.
All right. So I want to see gold coming to this level on the daily. Are you with me? Now, you may want to ask why. Something happened on Monday. This was Friday high. Look at this. This was Friday high, right? Price came on Monday, took out Friday high, but it was unable to sell to this level to take out the low. So yesterday was more of continuation for it. Now, if you notice, today is here to take out either the high of yesterday or the low of yesterday. So what do I expect? Same way, I have an open close key level here. So I expect price to come run into this level here. Are you with me? I expect price to come run into this level here. Give me some sort of reaction there. Then I'll see 4 hours. But then even aside that, if you come to 4 hours, you'll notice something. We also have an expansion here on 4 hours time frame. Right, we have an expansion. It breaks to the lower part. Now, I want to see imbalance before I just get into my trade. And good enough for me on the 1 hour time frame, you can see it's a sort of imbalance is present there. So I want to see gold. Oops, I hope it's not there yet. I want to see gold run into this level, give some sell. Probably it's a mistrade for me already, but then I'll still wait and see. But then above all, more sell on gold when we tap on that daily open. Sorry, the open close key level on the daily. I'm expecting more sell. If price didn't target today, then tomorrow definitely we'll take out the low high of today, then more sells. More sells. So this is what I'm expecting from gold. A move like
Okay.
this. Boom.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Okay.
expecting. Even if I'm to buy gold, I only engage in gold around here. So
Okay.
therefore, I need more sell. I need gold to drop more from this level before anything. But for now, I'm flat.
Okay.
I'm not doing anything currently. I'm still waiting for price to get there.
You're still waiting for the price to touch that point, then you
Yeah.
look for sellers.
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
That's
so
good.
what's your approach, bro, when it comes to psychology? For example, when you lose your funded account consistently, maybe what's how do you always approach that? Because that's
All right.
common now. It's
Yeah.
common in
Yeah. Yeah.
this industry. You can easily lose 3 funded accounts in one
Yeah.
month. You can lose 4 in a month.
All right. So here's my take. I love the way Zamco said he approaches what's it called? His challenge account. So for me, when I'm on challenge account, this is how I handle it. I'm going to talk about the risk before what's it called? The psychology part of it. So basically, when I'm on the challenge account, I risk 2% per trade, right? And daily, I don't take more than 2 trades. I don't take more than 2 trades in a day. So, for example, let's say it's a loss on the first one, then I know I still have another 2%. Maximum daily drawdown 4%, right? So, in a way, in a way, uh, if I pass the challenge, right, my funded is usually 0.5 or 1%, depending on how I want to, because I have currently with FundingPips, I have account like the last one now max funded with FundingPips already, right? So and then you know my navigate again. So in a way, my own story might not be the same with everyone, but then let me just speak from what's called a playing level now. Here's the thing. Well, number one thing, before I take any trade, I know. In fact, market does not owe me anything. That's one thing. It doesn't care about you work all night, you didn't sleep. It doesn't care about your psychology. It doesn't care about anything. Do you understand? So whatsoever trade I'm taking, in my head, I minus it from my account already. If I'm risking $1,000 on a 100K account, I check my balance and I tell myself, oh, if I'm sitting on, let's say, a fresh account now, I have a 100K account. In my head, I already condition my head to think about it. Okay, you know the worst that will happen to you today, Chax. You're going to lose $1,000 on it. Is it fine? But if it's fine, it's fine. Do you understand? I know that the profit that is to come, right? That's just a kind of add-on or a gift to me. Do you understand? It's not because my strategy is the best. It's not because my strategy is bad or whatsoever. It's not because I'm the best or the poorest person on earth. It doesn't even care about that. So in a way, I find to my head to think already that, see, let's subtract this amount from your account. And if eventually I lose it won't bother me any longer. Do you understand? But I think most people have this problem that even before a trade plays out, they already budget on what to use the money for, right? Even before the trade plays out. So eventually when they lose it, what happens? It's hard. And you know, the human brain is conditioned in such a way that sincerely we don't like to lose, right? It's not just the money, right? But as human, you blame yourself, you question yourself. What's wrong? Is it that you're not good enough? You feel like there's something wrong with you need something or a better strategy whatsoever. And then let me tell you, trading is not designed that way. Unless you yourself can accept the fact that yes, losses will come, wins will come, but whatsoever, I am still who I am. Do you understand? It doesn't change who you are. It doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't make you a good person. Whatsoever it is, just accept the outcome and move on. Right. And if you blow your account, let me tell you, one of the biggest mistakes you're going to do, two things. Either you want to buy an account and just jump in immediately, start trading, you want to make your money back and all. Let me tell you, in most cases, more than 70 or 80% of the time, if you didn't calm yourself, right, you're going to still lose the next account. Usually, I'll say this, right? If you experience what's it called, losing streak, or like things are not going the best way you want it,
Where's he gone?
I think maybe a network issue.
Maybe network issue. What do you think about your personality being a reflection of how you perform in trading?
Yeah, I believe it's true. Your personality can affect your trading journey or even your trading career. You know, for example, let me give you an example. Depending on actually spending. Okay, let me give an example of spending. Most cases, I'll use you as an example. For example, you said you spent like 6 years of trading, you had lost like 50K, okay? And then in the seventh year, then you got your payout. After getting your payout, then you have tried to buy multiple accounts, made more money. But do you know that there are some traders, when they get a payout, they're even afraid of reinvesting that money to buy more accounts? You get? So that's a personality issue.
Yeah.
You know, so that's a personality issue. If you are afraid to invest more, then it means you're going to spend that money maybe on other things, and at the end you are going to have that bad 1 month. You know, we have to accept the reality that there is always that 1 month which can take almost 50% of your funding. You get? So if you had already spent all the money you have as a pro farm trader, then how are you going to be able to buy another account? So that's a personality issue. So then also how you prepare your, how a trader you prepare your trading day. You wake up, what do you think? What's your target? What's your plan? Which pair are you looking at? You know, so there is a certain trade I saw back then. I was still young and maybe I thought this guy was just showing off. So the guy was like, oh, every Sunday, he doesn't go out. So he's busy setting up for the coming week. The pair is going to look at, going through the fundamentals. You get. So at the end of the day, when it comes to a trading week, he doesn't face surprises. For example, someone be like, some traders even find out that we have fundamentals today on that same time, 30 minutes to that data release, and someone is like, you know what, we have fundamentals. That's a personality issue. So I believe your personalities as an individual, it has a very big, how can I say, it can either make a very big improvement or damage on your trading career. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree. I definitely see your personality as being a complete reflection of how you perform in trading. If you are a very impulsive person by nature, it's going to reflect in your trading. If you are a person who is afraid of losing, it's going to reflect in your trading. So who you are as a person is basically how you perform as a trader. I think it's very crucial to understand who you are as a person and fix any underlying issues that you have. And that is what's going to improve your trading. A lot of people, they say, oh, I need help with psychology, or I'm afraid to take a trade, or things like that. It's got nothing to do with trading. It's just got to do with who you are as a person. You are a scared person as an individual. You are scared of taking risks. You are afraid of losing. That's why you're afraid of taking a trade. It's like, it completely depends on your own personality. That literally dictates how your trading goes. So if you want help in trading psychology, you have to look in the mirror, look at who you are as a person, and understand your flaws, be self-reflective and self-aware, and fix those flaws. I think that is how you become a successful trader. The reason I became profitable is because I got married, and the benefit of being married is I get instant feedback from my wife. If I do something wrong, I have to be self-aware. Like, what did I do wrong? I need to work on myself as a person. And when I did that,
Mm,
magically, I'm a profitable trader. How did that happen? It's because I
mm,
had to self-reflect. I had to understand who I was as a person and work on my flaws. And that's what really improved my trading.
mm. Yeah. So also there is something actually which I wanted to ask you when it comes to that point. As a person, our risk, also the risk we take, okay, depends on us individually.
Yeah.
Then I was like, you have talked about it today, but also always on your. I remember we had a full day on X, okay, whereby you were interacting with many traders, discussing on the risk appetite, whereby you risk 4.5, okay, 4.5 per trade. So I was always asking myself, like, what are the chances of you being right that this trade will pay off? So, because if you don't know your chances, it means you only have
Yeah.
two trades on that account. So I always
Hmm.
ask myself, like, Zamco, what are the chances does Zamco have to risk 4.5 on a trade? So what are the chances, like, for you to be right that this trade will pay off?
Right. I get you. I guess my win rate on a good setup tends to be around like 70 to 80%. And the thing you need to understand is sometimes you might not get the entry perfect. And some people have their stop losses very tight. But the reason I risk 4.5% is because I can have a larger stop loss. Overall, I can get the direction correct almost 70 to 80% of the time. So if I have the direction correct and I have the general area correct, I don't have to have a perfect entry. I can have a wide stop loss with that 4.5% risk. That's the beauty of risking that much. It's that I get a wider stop loss and I can just catch the general move. And if I'm correct in the direction, I'm most likely going to pass around 70 to 80% of the time. So that's why I get away with risking 4.5%. And another thing is, I'm not afraid of losing the account. I do not care. If I blow the account, I blow the account. I don't care. I'm just going to buy another one. Obviously, I understand if you don't have the means to be able to buy accounts very easily, it's going to be much more difficult to be able to risk that amount. But because I've had a few payouts, it's like I've got a bit of money sitting behind being able to reinvest in buying more and more accounts, even if I lose them. I think that's another thing. A lot of people, they don't treat trading as a business. When it comes to prop firm trading, you need to approach it as a business. You have your reserved capital. You have this certain amount of money you want to spend on purchasing accounts. I understand that I have a big budget to be able to spend on accounts. That's all the money is for. Like you said, if people just get the payout and they spend it on random stuff they don't need, you're not going to have enough money to be able to buy more accounts. So I understood that I need to have a bunch of money sitting behind me, that if I lose an account, I can buy another one. So pretty much most of my money that I have from payouts, I just put it back into accounts. It all just goes back into trading. I don't really care for luxury stuff.
So to understand you more, so what you are trying to mean is that your chances of being right are not based on your entry models, they are based on the market direction. So you focus so much on, am I right on the direction or not? So because it's like you have said that sometimes you will know that let's say NAS will be selling. For example, the analysis we have had today, that NASDAQ is going to be selling, okay? But you can't base on the entry model that, yes, I'm going to enter from here. So to avoid having a tight stop loss, you rather risk big, have a very big stop loss, then you wait for the direction to be right, or am I not understanding you right?
Generally, when I risk that large amount, that's typically what I'm doing. I'm just trying to get the direction correct. And another benefit of having a 4.5% risk is, let's say for phase 2, right? You need 5% to pass. I'm risking like 4.5%. So it's almost a 1-to-1 risk reward that I need to be right. It's not that hard if you have the general direction of the market correct. You're just following market structure. And because you have a wide stop loss, you're most likely going to stay in the trade. And you just need a 1-to-1 risk reward. Just think about it. That's all you need. 1-to-1 risk reward, and you pass phase 2. That's it.
Okay. So because I don't think you have started trading props this year. You have tried many before, and you have failed many before. Not so. So
Yeah,
because me, I've been trading also prop firms for so long. Actually, maybe even more than you. But what I want to know is, when did you find out that? Have you been using the same approach before, or it's just a new approach you have tried this year and it has worked out for you?
So when I got my first ever payout from a prop firm was last year, April 2024. And after I got that payout, that wasn't because I was risking so much. I wasn't risking that much. I was risking like 0.5% or whatever to pass. But then after I got that payout, I felt like, oh, if I lose an account, I can just buy more. So why don't I just risk more? And suddenly I passed so many accounts very quickly. And I was thinking, wow, why don't I just keep doing this? And then that's where I started getting lots and lots of funding very quickly, where I was just risking more. Because a lot of people, they're taught risk 0.5%, risk 1% per trade, and do that. You're going to take forever to pass that prop firm challenge. The longer you are in the challenge phase, the more opportunity you have to fail. So I try to just pass it very quickly. If I fail, I restart, and I try to pass quick again. I don't like to waste time in the challenge stage, because in the challenge stage, you're not making any money. There's no point of trying to take so long to pass the account. That's why I really just fire through it very quickly.
So since then, you have been doing the same thing?
Since then, yeah. Since my first payout, I've just been risking very, very high amounts, wherever I'm allowed to. Obviously, some prop firms, they limit me. They say you can only risk 1%, then I kind of have to risk 1%. But generally, if I'm allowed to risk the whole drawdown, I will do that. So whatever you allow me to risk, I will risk that.
So I think now that takes us back to the question you asked about the personality. So because of your personality, your budget, whenever you make your money, you put your money in the bank, then you are able to risk whatever you want. You get, with no fear, with no pressure. But that's not normal. Actually, bro, that's not normal. Okay, that's why many people had a lot of questions on Twitter. It's not normal. Risking 4.5. you know, so it's not normal. So my brother Chaz, unless you have something to tell us, because you have had this guy, my brother has
All
the
right.
highest risk appetite I have ever seen.
All right. All right. So let me say something. If you listen to what Zamco said very well, right? He said he has money sitting somewhere which he can use to buy accounts again. He gets me. Now, if you're just starting out and then you don't have any source, you don't have where you're getting money from, to be very unwise of you to try to do what so why you hear any of us say here, not even me or Zampo or are you getting me? Trading has to be one thing I take about trading is this. See, until the moment you can define trading to be your own thing yourself. That is, this is who I am. This is how I'm going to do it. You're not there yet. If you're just starting out, you don't have enough money. You're waiting for giveaway account and whatsoever. You don't want to, but you don't want to get one account and blow it up in a day. Are you getting me? So it's great for me. I reached 2% when I'm what's it called challenge phase, and I'm okay with that. Do you understand? So I feel like everyone should just do things according to their own type of person.
Yeah.
Are you getting
Yeah,
me?
absolutely.
Understand yourself. For me, I don't like to waste time. I don't like to waste time if I'm on. If I take any challenge account and I don't pass within the first 3 or 4 trades, I know I'm going to lose that account.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. I'm bored already. I'm bored already. So whatsoever, sometimes I even forget my account. I have an account. I have an account that was on what's it called, on phase 2. And sincerely speaking, for 2 weeks I didn't touch it. You know why? I've taken 3 trades on it already. And I was just within 1% break even and said, what's happening? So I forgot the accounts. On coming back, boom, I just put 2% on it. Target was equal 3RR and I passed. Do you understand? So, but then some are very comfortable with taking it very slowly. I'm not one of them. But if your own is to go as slow as you can, do your thing your own way. Do you understand? But understand what works for you and you're going to be fine. But then let me tell you,
Oh,
I
where's he
think maybe
gone?
Jack is having a network issue.
wasting your time.
He's having a network issue.
I'm
Bro,
telling you, when
Oh, it's back.
you're trading profit, uh, when you're trading profit, most people feel like, oh, I'm being careful. I want to follow the rules and all. Let me tell you one thing. Profit rules are very fine, but in life in general, right? Rules are designed to just limit you. I'm telling you, that's just my own take about life, right? In most cases, rules are designed to limit you, and people give excuses for it. Like I've seen people,
bro,
yeah,
do you know they were almost canceling Zamco for saying that on Twitter? Following the
yeah.
rules, risking 0.5%. And he was like, you know what, bro? Risk 4.5. And everyone was like, you, bro, what are you saying? So that's not that's not something to say to many people, because many people want to follow the rules. They want to follow the rules. I want to do this. I want to keep this funded for a
See,
month, you know.
I must tell you, yeah, I must tell you, right? In most cases, I'm of the opinion that rules are designed to limit you. That's just it. Now, profit rules are fine, most especially funding pips rules. Very, very nice. Right. Don't risk more than 5% a day. That's fine. That's fine. Doing 4.5%, you've not broken what's it called. You've not even gotten to what's it called, the daily drawdown. Right. But if you're comfortable with 0.5, one thing I just need you to understand is there's a thin line between being careful and you wasting your time. I'm not of the opinion that you waste too much time on challenge phase. If you like take a month, at the end of the day, if you're going to blow it, you're still going to blow it. Now, once you are funded, you cannot take things slowly in the sense that I'm more like I have on what's it called Airbnb now that I know that okay, at the end of the month, how much am I going to be making from there? Do you understand? But on the challenge phase, they're not paying you anything. It's just for you to get funded. So I'll encourage you not to waste too much time on it.
Yeah.
But
That's mine. But then don't try 4.5.
but risky,
Try 4.
meaning
4.5.
one thing we are not one thing we are not taking seriously. Okay, let's say if let's say this question comes to you. Let's say the first trade loss is hit and you have lost 4.5. Okay, percent. So of course you're going to come back tomorrow and maybe take the same risk. Okay. Now, how do you take your profits? You first take profits which take you back to break even, or you hold an account until it is passed. So how do you approach that?
I just hold it until I pass. I don't really care for bringing it back to break even. It's either passing the trade, passing the account, or failing the account. That's it. It's one or the other. That's typically what I do. You know, let me tell you something. A lot of people, I'm reading the comments, they're saying 4.5%. Oh, it's too high risk. It's over leveraging. Relax, okay? It's not over risking. It's not high risk, because let me tell you something. I've gotten over like what 650,000 in profit and payouts. Yeah, okay. Now, if I'm risking challenge fee, which is $500, right? The challenge fee is $500 for a 100K account, let's say approximately. That's only, let's say, 0.5% of my capital that I have. I'm only risking 0.5%. It's not 4.5%, because that's the account risk. But in terms of my own risk, that account is only 0.5% of my capital. So it doesn't matter if I lose the account. I've only lost 0.5% of my actual money. That's what people don't realize. They're so attached to the actual prop firm that it's 4.5% risk. No, it's not. It's 4.5% risk on the actual prop firm account. But in terms of my own risk, it's only less than 0.5%. It doesn't matter. So it is very low risk. People just don't realize that you're only risking the actual challenge fee. And if that's a low percentage of your entire capital, it doesn't matter. It's not high risk. So that's something people need to realize.
So now Zamco, we want to go back, because why do I actually ask you these questions, Zamco? I have seen many traders on the mostly on the X handle. Traders have been coming and they go. You get? Yeah, but we who are always this side, okay? Who are always this side, watching what traders are doing, seeing their skills. I have been watching. I have been seeing also Chax posting. So we who watch on this side, we don't get a chance to ask some of the questions we always have in our mind, So personally, me, I'm open-minded. That's why I even ended up here where I am trading, because I want to learn. I want to learn it. But my question is, take us back to that point, Zamco, where you did have money in your bank account. Your first challenges, okay? Like, how did you do it? Because someone, for example, there is someone who doesn't have 100K in the bank, okay? People, we always see when Chax posts a giveaway of FundingPips accounts, the comment section is always full. People, they need 5K account, 5K, And for us here, we are talking of risking 4.5% of 100K. That's 4.5K. That's almost a funded account someone is looking for, So now the question is, bro, how was it? How did you do it to reach that level whereby buying and risking multiple accounts of 100K is no longer a problem? How did you do it? Because I believe many of us maybe would like to use that same approach.
Okay. So basically, previous to having any bit of money, I had a job, right? And my job would pay me approximately £2,000 per month. That was my salary. Now, a lot of people may not know this, my first ever payout was $2,000, and that payout was on a 10K account. So that was a 10K account, and that only costed me like, what, £50? So again, it's the same principle. I have £2,000, but I'm only buying a 10K account. So I just used the money I got from that 10K account and then reinvested that to buy more accounts. So the ratio is pretty much the same. I'm not going to have £2,000 and then buy 200K accounts. It doesn't make sense, because again, I can't risk those accounts like that, because if I lose 2 of those accounts, I have to wait till my next paycheck. So it's just percentage. If you have, let's say, £1,000 or $1,000 in your account, in your bank account, you don't go for a 100K account, because you can only risk 2 of them. But if you lower it to, let's say, a 25K account, that's like almost approximately what, $100 maybe. So now you have potentially 10 opportunities. So people don't think of it that way. That's how I went about it, by the way. So I just bought smaller accounts so that I can risk losing those accounts. It doesn't matter. I didn't just straight away try to get big payouts on 200K accounts. I got my first ever payout on a 10K account. So in terms of ratio, it's the exact same. Do you get what I mean? Because if you're buying 10K accounts with £2,000 in your account, you're only risking like $50 per account. It's not that much. So that's how I go about.
Okay, so it's a bit clear. So, Chax, what do you say about that?
I think that's fine. So one thing is this, usually I tell people, if you're starting out, your first payout is very, very important. In fact, one of the most important, right? And why do I say this? You tend to trade from a place of comfort when you have multiple accounts to trade. Unlike when you're just trading one account. Do you understand? Because when you're trading one account, it's more like a do or die affair thing. Your mind is just focused on, I must not lose this account, I must not lose this account. And when you're sticking to, you don't want to lose this account, I'll say it again, you're going to be wasting your time and not knowing it. Do you understand? So yeah, because even if it's 5K accounts you pass, even if it's just $1,000 you can make from it, or $500 or so it is, make sure you take a fraction of it and invest in profit. This is one way I approach profit whenever I'm taking profit in my account. I ask myself, say for example, now according to FundingPips, the normal account takes about $529 to buy a 100K account. So I ask myself, if I'm to trade this money myself without having to buy prop, how long will I take to lose $529? How many trades will I take? I'm not going to speak for anyone, I'm speaking for myself. Probably my stop loss per trade is in a way a bit more than $500. Do you get? So I tell myself, if I trade my challenge phase more than a week, it's a waste for me. I'm telling you. If I take it more than 1 week, I'm only wasting my time. Because if I'm trading my own real money, I won't use a whole week to trade $500. What for? Do you understand? So this is how I approach it. But then once I get funded, I come up with another mindset that, okay, fine, I have this to myself now. I'm not paying anything for it. It's only more like I'm exercising my own knowledge and getting rewarded for it in the market. Do you understand? So I'll still stay by it and say risking 4.5% is not in a way too much if you know what you're doing, right? And if you're starting out, you really don't have anything. Your first withdrawal is very important, right? And when you withdraw, don't try to sort of like, okay, you're there now, change your phone, change your laptop, and all. Invest more back into that same thing that gave you that money, which is the profit. All right, so that's my own thing.
So meaning if someone is just a beginner, is starting, he should use the same approach but on small accounts. You get
Yes. Yes.
like the way Zamka has explained it. So you can use the same approach but on smaller accounts. So actually for me, yes, I'm a trader. I've been trading for so long, but I found interest in this industry for so long, the prop farm industry. So I'm always happy to talk to people who have really made it in the prop farm, because yes, we always see people who post, but they post for only today, and then you don't see them for the next 3 months. You get? So yeah, because actually for me I was happy. I remember when Zamco posted and he was like, this month has been a bit tricky. I have lost most of my funding. So someone who is open like that, you accept that yes, it's true, because the picture these people always get is that if you only post your wins, you only talk about your wins, people will be like, maybe, yeah, you were good. They will be like, this guy is a god, is a star. They don't breach accounts. But then someone who has just posted $40,000 in payout then comes out the next 2 weeks and is like, you know what, I have lost my funding. because the price action has not been good. You get, and then after 1 month, then he comes back. I have just passed 300K account on Funding Pips. So it's like, yes, I had with Funding Pips before, I lost, but then I came back, then I'm winning again. You get, so I always want to know the secret behind that. But today I have at least understood myself that, don't waste a lot of time on the challenge. Okay, go 4.5. Yeah, I like it. So also,
Imagine
me, I
if
have,
imagine if I use 4.5% on this, right? And currently I'm up about 3 around. That would have been almost 50. That will have been almost 30% of the account. That's nice. Don't worry.
yeah. So
That's a charge. I'll try that. I'll try that on one of my accounts.
Yeah, definitely.
it's
You
we
should.
just
I would say you
we
should.
just see things. We just see things every day, but we don't know what it takes. You see someone posting 30K in payout, but you don't know what it takes. Someone gave out almost the entire account to reach on a funded level. Yeah. So the market has opened. The stock market has opened.
Let's have a
Uh,
look.
yeah, you can share your screen, Zamco, and maybe we see.
Sure, I can do that. Here we go. Right. I'm sure. Can you guys see my screen? Yep, can. All right, cool. All right, so we're sweeping these highs. That's good. This typically with NASDAQ, there's two entry models that I use. Either it's an inverse fair value gap, or just a break of structure to the downside, retest of a fair value gap, and then continuation. So we've swept this high, which is good. I'm expecting sells down to at least these news lows. So I mean, let's see what happens. We're already pushing down. Okay, that's good. Okay. We're pushing down quite quick.
I'm holding that sell here.
Okay, nice. So yeah, I mean, the overall expectation is to sweep this high and then sells, really, and that's kind of what we're having, because the target was this news low, and there's reasoning behind that. We'll see what happens. I'm expecting this low to be swept, so sales will be good. And Euro USD, it did hit my TP finally, so that's good. That's that.
Another funded is down.
Yep.
4.5.
Yeah, 4.5% risk on that as well.
Okay.
So we'll see what NASDAQ does. I don't really see a clear entry right now. You could have just taken out the high, but in terms of entry, I don't see anything. I would need some sort of fair value gap to be formed, but right now I don't. It's probably going to sweep the low before even creating that, but we'll see.
So do you think is there a possibility of sweeping that low and then it goes back to buy?
Could do, because that is like the minimum target. But overall, again, like I was saying, on the 30-minute time frame, we can see we had this discounted area over here, which was not tapped into. The thing with market structure is usually if we continue pushing up without having a retracement into a discounted region, that area is going to be tested one day or another. And then considering we are consolidating just above it, and then now we've just swept the highs, and now we're breaking structure to the downside, I'm bearish all the way down to this area over here. So overall, I'm expecting this low to be swept, this equal lows to be swept, and then all the way down to this 30-minute area. So I'm not really interested in buys at all. I like the sells. I prefer the sells. And I guess, look, that's what we're getting. I was expecting the sweep of these highs in NYSE Open, and starting to push down. And perfect. I mean, this is kind of following the plan, so I guess that's good. But yeah, I'm expecting further sells from this area. But but to be safe, obviously, this is the area to take your profits or partials. Because obviously we can sweep this and then consolidate or whatever, but minimum this area is what I'm looking at to target.
Okay. So meaning if you were to engage in sales, that's if they close below that area you have marked down.
No. Like I would want to be in sales over here right now. but there's just nothing clear. The only thing really is like what, this 1 minute zone here, which we might tap into and then continue down. But if we don't, then we don't. There's not much we can do about that. We might just continue down without tapping.
Okay.
Even though we did have the understanding behind the market and understanding why price has to go over here, why you're expecting price to go over here. Because look, before NY even started, I was expecting price to go down to at least sweep these news lows. And it's nice to see that that's exactly what's happening, because there was reasoning behind that trade. It's understanding how the market moves, where liquidity is resting. There we go. So you've swept the news low. Perfect target here. So if anyone caught that, so great. But again, like it's all about understanding the market and why it moves, how it moves. It's so crucial. People don't understand why price has to retrace. Okay, they think that if price is moving up, it should just keep moving up. Not understanding, no, it has to retrace first to then continue up. So a lot of people, they get stuck in buying early. Like let's say price broke this high. Okay, we're breaking. Look, we're going market structure, bullish, bullish, bullish. They'll see this high has been broken. Little retest over here. Let's take a buy. But it doesn't make sense, because price core has broken this high, but it hasn't retraced more than 50%. So for example, from this low to this high, you need some sort of a retracement of at least 50%. This low over here, it didn't retrace. After breaking this high, we didn't retrace more than 50%. So people trying to buy over here or over here, trying to then continue up, they get taken out. And we see price actually retraces into a discount region, and then it moves up. So people, just something simple as that, a retracement into a discounted or premium area, that is crucial for you to base your entries off. If you're entering too early without a retracement of more than 50%, you're most likely going to get stopped out. So you need to follow market structure and have this understanding of premium and discounted areas. That's how you get yourself into the market correctly and not get stopped out again and again. I literally posted a video on this on YouTube literally like yesterday or 2 days ago. It's crucial to understand market structure and understanding liquidity, like news highs and news lows. Look, we had the sweep of the news highs. I'm expecting the news lows to be swept, and that's exactly what happened. And now we're reacting off of it, which is why I was saying I don't know about holding past this news area, minimum at least this area. And look, that's exactly what's happening. It can be quite simple when it comes to trading when you understand how the market moves and why it moves. It's so crucial to understand that.
Okay, so meaning we should either, if you are to engage in sales, you are either targeting that first zone there, go for sales, and if it fails, then you have the one you talked about on the 30-minute, which is up there, the imbalance.
Yeah. So basically, if this zone failed, the 15-minute order block over here, then we have a higher up area up here. Now, if we look at this structure, okay, look, this is a very, very nice example. All right, I want everyone to pay attention, right? We've seen price break structure to the downside. We can see market structure shift to the downside. Very, very clear. We had this retracement over here. A lot of people would have tried to sell to then continue down, right? But price moved even higher. Why? Look at it. Mark from the high to the low. Did this retrace more than 50%? No, it didn't come into a premium area. So why would you sell? Everyone who sold over there, a lot of people stop losses. They would have still been holding this trade, trying to catch the big move down. They got in early. The actual real moves, they happen in the premium and discount areas. So when they see this little retracement, they're like, oh, look, we're consolidating now, printing bearish. Let's take the sell. Great, you caught this little move, but the real moves are happening higher up. Because again, that's a premium area. That's where the institutions and the banks, that's where they want to sell. They don't want to sell when price is already in a discounted area. They want it to come up into a premium, and then they can sell. And that's exactly what's happening. So this is a clear example right here in front of your eyes that you need to wait for market structure to actually retrace. You can't just keep on trying to take the market movements. You have to let it breathe. You have to let it retrace. You have to let it come into a premium and discount area. And that's where you're going to catch your actual moves. So hopefully that makes sense to everyone, because it's a clear example right here.
Yeah. So meaning if to clarify, if someone is to look for sales, the best area would be the highest point.
Not necessarily the highest, just above a 50% retracement, because psychologically and in terms of business, if price is 50% cheaper, that's a discount. And if it's and if you've increased the price by 50%, it's a premium price. It's a nice price to be selling off and taking your profits. So it's just business psychology, human psychology. It all just links together. It just makes sense. If price is moving up, why would banks want to then buy at a high? They want it to be discounted so then they can buy. So then that's where you want to be entering the market as well. You have to let it retrace. You have to let it come to a discount and then understand that's where people are probably going to buy, not just trying to buy at the highs. It doesn't make sense. So even in this example, it's very clear. Price has to come into a premium to then that's where people are taking profits. Like institutions are probably taking their profits over here, or maybe even entering sales. But look, that's where we're getting the reaction of, not over here. So again, this is how I see the market. And again, if I'm entering over here with a wide stop loss, let's say up there, and I'm just targeting this area down here for like a 1-to-1 or whatever, how likely is it to continue further up? We've broken structures to the downside. How likely is it that price is going to come up here, react, and then continue even higher? It doesn't make sense, because we've already retraced, we failed, and now we've retraced even higher into a premium, and we're seeing the volume come in. So it just makes sense. Volume's coming in at this premium area. This is where the actual sales are going to take place. Now, if price breaks this high, then we are wrong, and that's okay, because then at least we know that structure has now flipped back to bullish. Over here, if you got stopped out right here at this break of this high, price is still now pushing down. So technically, you got taken out, and then price is moving in your direction. But if price breaks this high, price is probably going to continue up. It just doesn't make sense to then try and sell. So you have to understand that if you're wrong, you are wrong, and the market is now flipping its direction. But over here, if you're wrong because you've sold early, you're technically, your direction was correct, but your entry was wrong. It's because you didn't understand where to enter and why you entered there. Because look, you have to wait for price to come into a premium. So this is why a lot of people get stopped out, and then they get frustrated that price actually moved in their direction. Sure, your direction was correct, but you didn't understand where to enter. And this is a key example of how to understand that. It's simply a premium area. Following market structure, but getting your premium areas to sell in. And we can see it's working out quite well, actually. So yeah, this is how I go about trading. I hope some people understood something from there. Premium and discount regions, they're so crucial when following market structure. So yeah.
Okay, bro. So I think we should call it a day.
Yeah, definitely. It's been, my throat's quite dry.
We should call it a day. It has been fun, bro. Yes. Guys, thank you so much for your time. For me, I have learned a lot. Okay, I really appreciate the time. I see the comment section. Yeah, so
let me remind you something before we go. Right. Once again, your risk is relative. Depends on who you are, and a lot of things should determine your risk. Is that taking? Don't go all around and Chax preach risk 2%, and because of that you want to do what Chax is doing. No, don't go all around. Because Zamco said 4.5% is very okay, and then you do that. Or every CK is saying, okay, go slowly at your own pace, and then you want to. No, trading is a personal thing. Do you understand? You need to do it as per the kind of person you are. Is that taking? Whatsoever you've seen us do today or talk about, they're just for educational purpose. None of them is a financial advice. All right. I wish everybody good luck and happy trading. Enjoy the rest of your week.
okay.
Yeah, man. Nice meeting you, man. Take care.
All right.
Okay, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.